How much do you guys actually know about the Sanja Matsuri that happens every year in Asakusa? It's actually one of 3 big Shinto festivals that take place every year. The big 3 are the Sanja Matsuri, the Kanda Matsuri, and of course the Sannō Matsuri. However, the Sanja Matsuri is the biggest, most energetic festival of them all. It takes place over 3 days during the 3rd weekend of May, so sadly, you've missed the festival in 2025, but you'll be there for 2026 if you're traveling in Japan. 1.5 million visitors will encroach onto Asakusa for this festival, making it one of the biggest festivals in Tokyo. And finally, for the first time ever, your boy got to attend the festival. Don't get me wrong, I only attended the 3rd day. I would have loved to attend every single day, the Friday, Saturday, and the Sunday. However, this year, I could only jump in on the Sunday. But before we really dive into my experiences, let's talk about this festival, the history, and the days leading up to the 3rd day of the festival. What is the significance of Sanja Matsuri? Well, Sanja roughly translates to 3 shrines or 3 temples. Brownie points for any history buffs who know exactly why it's called Sanja. I'll give you 3 seconds to put your comments in the description down below. And you're out of time. The festival honors the 3 men that founded Sensōji in 628 AD. The 3 men, Hinokuma Hananari, Hinokuma Takenari, and of course Hanji-no Nakatomo. According to legend, the Hinokuma brothers were fishermen, and while fishing in the Sumida River, they pulled out a statue of the goddess Kannon, who is the goddess of mercy. Nakatomo was a wealthy landlord. He converted the brothers to Buddhism and then built a temple with the Kannon at its center. The 3 men are now enshrined as Shinto deities at Asakusa Shrine, right next to Sensōji. This is the part that gets a little bit confusing because the Sanja Matsuri, the Sanja Festival, is at its base a Shinto festival. However, it does have connections to a Buddhist origin. You'll find this happens a lot with Japanese religion, especially Shintoism. Now, I'm no expert, but in the video I did about the 7 gods of luck in Japan, a lot of those gods weren't from Shintoism as a base. Elements of Buddhism, Hinduism, Shintoism. It's always very much a mixed bag with Japan. It's very interesting. But that is how Asakusa and Sensōji Shrine came to be. It was the work of these 3 individuals. Let's talk about the festival itself, because once again, it does take place over 3 whole days. And for those with a keen eye, I guess you're noticing something. Yes, 3. It's gonna come up a lot. 3 gods, 3 days, 3 seconds, 3 shrines, 3 deities. Everything's going to be happening in 3s in this video. Pay attention, it will come up a lot more as we go. We gotta talk about each individual day of the festival. So we're gonna start at the start. Day 1, the grand procession. Ooh. I love calling something a grand procession. It's so fucking cool. The start of the festival can only be called a grand procession because truly, it is a grand affair. The entirety of Asakusa is converted into a parade space, and a massive parade takes place through the entirety of Asakusa. This is known as the Daigyoretsu. Participants wear Edo-themed costumes, including dancers, priests, geishas, musicians. The procession is pretty long, starting all the way at Yanagi-dori and going all the way up to Asakusa Shrine. This is only day 1, so this is more of the build-up, the celebrations that come with bringing the gods from where they sit to the portable shrines, which is why day 1 also includes a Shinto purification ritual and of course traditional performances. Day 1 could be described as the most important day. It must set a spiritual tone because these gods, these deities, they're being transferred from the shrines that they sit in at their temples into the portable shrines that are going to be taken all around Asakusa for the next 2 days. So that is day 1. It's very celebratory in nature, big performances, grand processions, and then spiritual cleansing, the transformation of deities from one place to another, setting the stage for what's going to be day 2, this Saturday. And that's where it all kicks off. It all kicks off on the Saturday, the neighborhood mikoshi processions. The Saturday is very important, probably one of the most important days if you are a local living in Asakusa. It's the day where 100 mikoshi, or portable shrines, are taken from the 44 surrounding neighborhoods of Asakusa and brought around the entire city. Now, this is important. At the beginning of the video, we did discuss that there were 3 separate shrines, or 3 shrines for the 3 deities that created Sensōji. This is not them. These aren't the main deities of Asakusa, of Sensōji. These are the local deities from the surrounding 44 areas of Asakusa. Very important to mention. But still, these gods deserve some time in the spotlight, which is why they have the entirety of Saturday dedicated to the 100 local deities of Asakusa. These mikoshi are brought all the way around the city. People are jostling them, holding them in the air, shouting, "Wassoi, wassoi, wassoi." I'm pretty sure if you've been to any festival in Japan, you've heard them doing it. It is a cool, you just want to get involved. It's so bloody cool. It's so much fun. The shrines are hoisted up, shaken around, jostled as we go. But it's not for fun. It's not for show. There is a reason behind these actions. The action of shaking and jostling around the mikoshi is said to invigorate the spirits and bless the surrounding areas that the portable shrines are being taken through. Day 1 isn't the main day of the festival. Day 1 isn't the main event. Remember, there are still 3 big shrines to be brought out. However, the Saturday is crazy. The Saturday is insane. There is no day in this festival where you are going to have a clean street to walk on. Traffic is blocked. Cars are not allowed to go through this area. Get off your bike. You are not allowed to ride it through, or it's going to be very difficult for you to get through. There's going to be people wherever you stand. If you don't like crowds, this might not be the festival for you. But, I would say give it a go. Even if you don't like crowds, for an hour, for a solitary hour, give it a try. The energy of these festivals, it's so electric. Everyone's on the same page. Yeah, there's some jostling. Yeah, there's a little bit of like, come on, trying to get a good photo, trying to get a good spot so I can like see the mikoshi, so I can see the shrine being brought around. There's an element of like camaraderie, an element of we're all there to see the same thing, we're all there to celebrate. There is a kind of communal neighborhood feeling to this festival, especially on the Saturday. Because why wouldn't there be? It is 100 mikoshi from the 44 local neighborhoods. There's going to be locals there to receive the blessings as well. But if you really did want to avoid the congestion and you just wanted to kind of check out the festival from a distance, you could avoid the 3 main streets and you probably should be okay, probably. The 3 most congested areas are Kaminari Gate, Nakamise Dori, and of course Asakusa Shrine. These become the most congested areas during the Saturday of the festival. Well, to be fair, during all 3 days of the festival, those are going to be the most congested areas. Traffic is blocked, there is crowd control from police and volunteers, and there's also food vendors. Food vendors, alcohol sellers, it is a festival. Go and have fun. We gotta talk about day 3. Because day 3 was the only day I could go to this year, and it was the busiest day. Day 3 is the main shrine mikoshi procession. That's right, it's time for the 3 main shrines, or the 3 main mikoshi containing the spiritual energy, or the deities themselves, into these shrines to be brought around the entirety of Asakusa to spread their blessings. Once again, following the pattern of 3s, the mikoshi have names. The first one, Ichinomiya, the second, Ninomiya, and the third, Sannō. For those with basic rudimentary Japanese, you know what this means. It's 1, 2, and 3, the 3 main mikoshi from Asakusa Shrine. During day 1, the spirits of the founders are taken from where they rest in the main shrine and brought to the portable shrine, the mikoshi, to be brought around Asakusa. But unlike the other mikoshi, this isn't done on the Friday or even the Saturday. This is done on the Sunday, very early in the morning. So at dawn, the deities are taken, roused from their sleep, and brought from the shrines that they sleep at to the mikoshi to be brought around Asakusa. Once the deities are brought from where they rested to the mikoshi, they are brought to the center of Asakusa by the mikoshi bearers. I know people who have done the job of mikoshi bearers, holding these massive 1-ton portable shrines around areas for, the entirety of the festival. You do take it in turns, people are shifted out and then new people are shifted in. But in the case of Sanja Matsuri, it is a 12-hour procession. Even if you're being shifted in and out, your shift isn't going to be 10-20 minutes. You're holding this thing for a while. We're talking 30-45 minutes to at least an hour and a half of 1 ton, or at least a shared 1 ton, just resting on your shoulder. People get not injured, not seriously injured, but you do get bruises the next day. It is a pretty intense workout. As I said, the procession lasts 12 hours. And during these 12 hours, the mikoshi is brought to various different districts around Asakusa. From early morning to late evening, the mikoshi is brought around accompanied by drums, flutes, dancers, and of course, a procession of people to follow. These mikoshi are heavy. They're about a ton each. But people aren't fighting over who has to carry them. They're fighting over who gets to carry them. Neighborhood squabbles happen. There are huge verbal disagreements discussing who's going to carry the mikoshi first, who's going to be second, what's going to be the order to which the mikoshi is carried. Now, over a 12-hour period, you would think it's fine. Everyone's going to have a turn. No, there are that many people lining up to want to carry the mikoshi around that if you're not living inside Asakusa, for this Sanja Matsuri, for example, if you don't live inside Asakusa and you're not a member of some kind of neighborhood watch, you have no chance of taking a turn to carry this mikoshi. You would need to know someone on the board of the neighborhood watch or whatever, just to get your name suggested. It's pretty intense, honestly. Luckily, if you're an international person, they do like having international people dress up in the traditional garb and sort of carry around the mikoshi. So you're surprisingly, you have an advantage. Like you have a racial buff to be able to carry this mikoshi around. So that raises the question. I know a lot of my viewers have done some really interesting things in their times in Japan. So if you've carried a mikoshi around, let me know in the comments down below, because I've never done it. I've never had the chance, but I might get to do it next year, and I need to know what I'm getting myself into. Leave me a comment down below if you've done it before, or if you want to do it. Maybe we could find a shrine, carry it together. We'll see how it goes. But very basically, that is the 3 days of the Sanja Matsuri. But what about the vibes? This is a pretty, let's say, unique festival. A pretty interesting festival. There are certain individuals, let's just say ones that have full body tattoos. These individuals have openly been seen showing off their tattoos and carrying the mikoshi shrines, especially on the 3rd day of the Sanja Matsuri. Because of that, there is an increased police presence just in case anything happens during the festival. So far to date, it's been pretty smooth. People just kind of want to enjoy the festival, so random acts of violence and I assume whatever turf war might or may not happen doesn't seem to be happening at the festivals. And that's pretty surprising. It's a pretty rambunctious, energetic, high energy festival. And it's not a dry festival. Japan is open container. And at festivals, people are opening some damn containers. To be fair, I definitely was also opening some damn containers. Your casual festival inventory is a snack, 2 tinnies, one in your pocket, one in your hand, and some kind of a towel to wipe your sweat, because my god, these festivals, they get heated. Not in a throw hands, we're gonna like fight way. Heated as in like, it's Japanese summertime, it's 1 billion degrees, you are going to be sweating buckets, like there is no way of. The vibes of the festival are honestly immaculate. Everyone's really friendly, everyone's just having a really good time, just hanging out. It is pretty damn fun. We ended up going all the way to Sannō just when the shrine was coming back around. So we ended up getting some really good, really close-up shots of the shrine. And the only way we got those close-up shots was by a random Yakuza member coming over to me, complimenting my hair. We got into a little conversation about, you know, hair stuff, his tattoos, yada yada yada, but then the shrine was coming. And it's the job of these volunteers to kind of move everyone back, make space so the shrine can come down the main road in Asakusa. However, what actually happened was, he starts moving people back, he's got to get his job done, we say our goodbyes, but he holds me here, he's like, wait, don't go anywhere, stand right where you're standing. So I don't move, I just stand there. And he starts pushing the crowd around me, like, no, get out the way, this is the front of the line. My guy made it so I'm standing there, in the front of the line, watching one of the biggest mikoshi being brought right by us. It was just a fantastic time. It was so cool. But it's little fun interactions like that that make Japanese festivals really, really fun. Doubly so if you're an interesting individual. Triply so if you're an interesting individual who speaks some Japanese. it opens way more doors than you think it's going to, especially at festivals. I cannot tell you how many free beverages I have gotten from old people at festivals just because I speak Japanese. Like, it's a cheat code. It's a money-saving hack. Let me give you some hacks, because I am a professional. If you want to come to the festival in 2026, here's my advice to you. The festival does last basically all day on all 3 of the days. Friday, however, it starts from 1 p.m. If you get there around 1, it's going to be very packed still. There's going to be a lot of people there. It's going to be interesting, but it's going to be very busy. Day 2 lasts basically all day, from morning to night. It's about a 12-hour shift of the mikoshi being brought around various different areas in Asakusa. That is going to be a lot more accessible if you don't want to deal with giant crowds. If you end up in like the smaller areas, the neighborhood areas, there's going to be less people there, but there's going to be shrines and it's going to be like a festival vibe no matter what. So you can enjoy the Sanja Matsuri in a more low-key, toned down kind of way. Day 3 is a little bit harder. Day 3 is very much the biggest day for the festival. 3 of the biggest shrines being brought around Asakusa for 12 hours. It is a busy day. And remember, it's morning till evening. I was there around midday. It was packed. However, there are some hacks. You have 2 options if you don't want to deal with crowds. Option 1, my least favorite option. Go really early. Sunday technically starts from 6 a.m. You can get there at 6 a.m. and sort of watch them transfer the deity from the shrines to the portable shrines, to the mikoshi. Or, hack 2, get there in the evening. It lasts until the evening. Now, the evening is when things get really rambunctious. The evening is when people are really going with these shrines, really moving fast with these shrines. So it's going to be a little easier to see the shrine. It's going to be a little less crowded because people are going to be drinking too much and heading home as it starts getting late, as it starts getting dark, but it will be easier to get around. Those are your options for day 3, really early in the morning or really late at night. But of course, if you don't mind the crowds, I would suggest coming around midday, getting some lunch, smashing some bevies with the festival boys. If it's your first time going to a festival and you're worried about breaking some social faux pas, some unwritten Japanese rules, don't worry, I got you. I'm going to give you 3 rules to follow, and as long as you follow these rules, you're going to be okay. You're going to be perfectly fine in any festival. Don't worry about it. Rule 1 is really easy. Photographs, perfectly fine. Take photos, have a good time, take videos. Look, I took a ton of videos, a ton of photos. The shrine bearers know people are going to take photos of them. It's perfectly okay. However, do not get in the way of the shrines to take the photos. Follow simple body language. If a guy is going to you, hey, one of these, just assume, maybe I shouldn't go past him. You know? He's giving me one of these. Let me just stop. He's wearing the whole uniform. He looks like a mikoshi bearer. Let me follow the body language, you know? Simple context clues. You don't want to speak the language. Don't worry about it. The other one, really simple. Don't interfere with the mikoshi bearers. We said it before in the video. It's really hard to become mikoshi bearer. And for those that don't understand like how to get on the list or how to become one of the mikoshi bearers, you kind of think like it's a free-for-all. They've got a 12-hour shift. Don't make it harder for them, please. Number 3, don't touch the shrines. I know, a silly little third rule that's kind of unnecessary because if you're following the first 2 rules, the third rule, who needs it, you know? But I feel like we need it. Because I feel like there's going to be one person who's like, what if I just sneak up, do a little touchy touch, try to get some extra luck for myself? You don't need it, sir. That's what the jostling is for, you know? You're going to be okay. They're jostling that shrine, the luck's going to fly out. You just got to stand close enough to catch it. You're going to be fine. Don't touch the shrines. And I'm going to call it there. Listen, the Sanja Matsuri was kind of goated with the sauce. I had a bloody fantastic time while I was there. I'm probably going to be there in 2026 as well. Apparently, I might know someone who knows someone who can get me access to carrying this shrine. So if I see you in 2026, I might be there. Mikoshi on shoulder, beverage in the other hand, just having a grand old time. So guys, maybe I'll see you in 2026 at the Sanja Matsuri. We'll find out. But until then, I'm gonna love you and leave you. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Every little helps, my guys. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Thank you! 次ですよ本当にあのっすマジであざっす Yo, these guys are fucking sick, bro.